The National Electrical Code, or NEC, covers underground residential distribution, or URD, cable in Article 311 underground installations. Specifically, NEC 311.20 addresses the protection of underground cables. It mandates that URD cable used in underground installations must be installed in a raceway approved for the purpose. This raceway should adequately protect the cable from physical damage. When it comes to mobile home installations, NEC 550.4 provides further guidance. This section states that underground service conductors must be installed in rigid non-metallic conduit or other approved raceways. This requirement applies to all underground service conductors, which includes URD cable. It is important to note that URD cable is not considered a utility cable under the NEC definition. Utility cables, as defined in NEC 100, are cables installed by a utility company. These cables are used to transmit, distribute, or measure electrical power or energy. In contrast, URD cable is typically installed by a homeowner or a contractor, not the utility company. Consequently, it does not fall under the utility cable exemption. Therefore, based on these NEC requirements, URD cable installed under a mobile home must be in conduit. This is required by both NEC 311.20, which addresses underground installations generally, and NEC 550.4a, which specifically addresses mobile home installations. In summary, let's review the key points. Firstly, URD cable is covered under NEC Article 311 underground installations. Secondly, NEC 311.20 mandates the use of a raceway for URD cable in underground installations to provide physical protection. Thirdly, NEC 550.4 requires underground service conductors, including URD cable, under mobile homes to be installed in rigid non-metallic conduit or other approved raceways. Fourthly, URD cable is not considered a utility cable as defined by NEC 100. Fifthly, the NEC requires URD cable installed under a mobile home to be in conduit, according to NEC 311.20 and NEC 550.4a. These regulations are in place to ensure safety and prevent damage to the electrical system. Failure to comply with these regulations can result in unsafe conditions and code violations. Always consult the latest edition of the NEC and local regulations for the most up-to-date requirements. It's also highly recommended to consult with a qualified electrician for any electrical work to ensure compliance and safety. Let's delve deeper into Article 311 of the NEC to understand underground installations more thoroughly. Article 311 covers various aspects of underground wiring, including approved wiring methods, conductor types, installation requirements, and protection measures. It's crucial to familiarize yourself with this article if you're involved in any underground electrical work. NEC 311.5 outlines the approved wiring methods for underground installations. These methods include direct burial cables, cables installed in raceways, and other approved methods. The choice of wiring method depends on factors such as soil conditions, environmental factors, and the type of cable being used. NEC 311.7 specifies the types of conductors suitable for underground installations. These conductors must be suitable for direct burial or installed in approved raceways. They should also be resistant to moisture, corrosion, and other environmental factors. NEC 311.10 covers the installation requirements for underground conductors. This section specifies the minimum burial depths for different types of conductors and raceways. The burial depth depends on factors such as voltage, location, and the presence of vehicular traffic. NEC 311.15 addresses the protection of underground conductors from physical damage. This section requires the use of raceways, concrete encasement, or other approved methods to protect conductors from damage caused by digging, soil movement, or other factors. In addition to Article 311, other articles of the NEC may also be relevant to underground installations. For example, Article 300 covers general wiring methods, and Article 310 covers conductors for general wiring. It's important to consult all relevant articles of the NEC to ensure compliance with all applicable requirements. Now, let's examine Article 550 of the NEC, which specifically addresses mobile home installations. Article 550 covers the electrical requirements for mobile homes, including service entrances, wiring methods, grounding, and bonding. It's crucial to understand the requirements of Article 550 when working on mobile home electrical systems. NEC 550.4a, as previously mentioned, requires underground service conductors to be installed in rigid non-metallic conduit or other approved raceways. This requirement is intended to protect the conductors from physical damage and ensure the safety of the installation. NEC 550.10 covers the grounding and bonding requirements for mobile homes. This section requires the mobile home to be grounded to a grounding electrode system and bonded to all metal parts to minimize the risk of electrical shock. NEC 550.15 addresses the wiring methods permitted in mobile homes. This section specifies the types of cables and raceways that are allowed to be used in mobile home wiring systems. NEC 550.32 covers the requirements for service equipment located outside the mobile home. This section specifies the location, type, and protection requirements for service equipment such as meters, disconnects, and overcurrent protection devices. It's important to note that mobile home electrical systems have unique requirements due to their construction and mobility. It's crucial to understand these requirements to ensure compliance with the NEC and ensure the safety of the installation. Now let us discuss URD cable in more detail. URD cable is designed specifically for underground distribution of electrical power in residential areas. It typically consists of multiple insulated conductors, including phase conductors and a neutral conductor encased in a protective jacket. The conductors are usually made of aluminum or copper, and the insulation is typically cross-linked polyethylene or XLPE, which provides excellent electrical and thermal properties. The protective jacket is designed to withstand the harsh underground environment, including moisture, chemicals, and physical abrasion. URD cable is available in various sizes and configurations to meet different load requirements. The size of the conductors determines the ampacity or current carrying capacity of the cable. The configuration refers to the number and arrangement of conductors within the cable. When installing a URD cable, it's important to follow the manufacturer's instructions and the requirements of the NEC. Proper installation techniques are essential to ensure the long-term reliability and safety of the cable. Some common installation practices include using the correct burial depth, providing adequate support for the cable, and protecting the cable from physical damage during and after installation. It's also important to avoid sharp bends or kinks in the cable, as these can damage the insulation and reduce the cable's lifespan. When splicing or terminating URD cable, it's crucial to use approved connectors and methods. Improper splices or terminations can lead to overheating, electrical faults, and even fires. Only qualified electricians should perform splicing and termination work on URD cable. Regular inspection and maintenance of URD cable can help to identify potential problems before they become serious. This includes checking for signs of damage, corrosion, or overheating. Any damaged or deteriorated cable should be replaced promptly to prevent electrical hazards. Understanding the characteristics and installation requirements of URD cable is essential for anyone involved in underground electrical distribution systems. By following best practices and adhering to the NEC, it's possible to ensure the safe and reliable operation of these systems. Now, let's discuss the importance of using approved raceways for underground installations. A raceway is a channel designed to hold and protect electrical wires and cables. Raceways can be made of various materials, including metal, plastic, and fiberglass. The primary purpose of a raceway is to provide physical protection for the conductors and prevent damage from environmental factors. Raceways also provide a safe path for electrical current in the event of a fall, helping to prevent electrical shock and fires. The NEC specifies the types of raceways that are approved for use in different applications. Some common types of raceways include rigid metal conduit, or RMC, intermediate metal conduit, or IMC, electrical metallic tubing, or EMT, rigid non-metallic conduit, or PVC, and flexible metal conduit. The choice of raceway depends on factors such as the location, the type of conductors, and the environmental conditions. When installing raceways, it's important to follow the manufacturer's instructions and the requirements of the NEC. Proper installation techniques are essential to ensure the raceway provides adequate protection for the conductors. Some common installation practices include using the correct fittings and supports, properly grounding metal raceways, and sealing the ends of raceways to prevent moisture from entering. It's also important to avoid overfilling raceways, as this can damage the conductors and reduce their ampacity. The NEC specifies the maximum number of conductors that are allowed to be installed in a raceway of a given size. In addition to providing physical protection, raceways also offer other benefits. They can help to organize and manage wiring systems, making it easier to troubleshoot and maintain them. Raceways can also provide a neat and professional appearance, enhancing the overall aesthetics of the installation. Using approved raceways is a crucial aspect of safe and reliable electrical installations. By following best practices and adhering to the NEC, it's possible to ensure that raceways provide adequate protection for conductors and contribute to the overall safety of the electrical system. Let's further discuss the specifics of NEC 550.4 concerning mobile home installations. This section of the NEC is very explicit in its requirements for underground service conductors. The phrase rigid non-metallic conduit typically refers to PVC conduit, which is a common choice for underground applications due to its resistance to corrosion and moisture. However, the code also allows for other approved raceways. This gives some flexibility in selecting the appropriate raceway for the specific installation. Other approved raceways might include high-density polyethylene, or HDPE, conduit or reinforced thermosetting resin conduit, or RTRC, provided they are listed and labeled for underground use and suitable for the environmental conditions. The key is that the raceway must provide adequate physical protection to the conductors. This protection is particularly important in mobile home installations, where the ground may be subject to movement or disturbance. The raceway protects the conductors from damage caused by shifting soil, rocks, or other objects. Furthermore, the raceway helps to prevent moisture from contacting the conductors, which can lead to corrosion and electrical faults. When selecting a raceway for a mobile home installation, it's important to consider the following factors. Firstly, the type of soil. Some soils are more corrosive than others and may require a more durable raceway material. Secondly, the depth of burial. The raceway must be able to withstand the weight of the soil above it. Thirdly, the presence of vehicular traffic. If vehicles will be driving over the raceway, it must be strong enough to withstand the load. Fourthly, the local climate. In areas with extreme temperatures or freeze-thaw cycles, the raceway must be able to withstand these conditions without cracking or becoming brittle. In addition to these factors, it's also important to consider the cost and availability of the raceway. PVC conduit is generally the most affordable option and is widely available. However, other raceway materials may be more suitable for certain applications. It's always best to consult with a qualified electrician to determine the best raceway for a specific mobile home installation. Remember that NEC 550.4 is not just a suggestion, it's a mandatory requirement. Failure to comply with this requirement can result in code violations and unsafe conditions. Always ensure that underground service conductors in mobile home installations are properly protected by an approved raceway. This is a critical step in ensuring the safety and reliability of the electrical system. Now let's explore the definition of utility cable as it pertains to the NEC. The NEC defines a utility as an entity that supplies essential services such as electricity, gas, or water to the public. Utility cables are the cables that are installed and maintained by these utilities to deliver these services. These cables typically run from the utility's distribution network to the customer's service entrance. The key distinction between utility cables and other types of cables is ownership and responsibility. Utility cables are owned and maintained by the utility company, while other cables are owned and maintained by the property owner or contractor. This distinction is important because it affects who is responsible for the safety and maintenance of the cables. The NEC provides specific requirements for utility cables in various articles. These requirements address issues such as clearance from other objects, grounding, and protection from physical damage. However, the NEC also recognizes that utility companies have their own standards and practices, which may differ from the NEC requirements. Therefore, the NEC often defers to the utility standards for utility cables. This means that utility companies have some flexibility in how they install and maintain their cables as long as they meet certain minimum safety requirements. In contrast, the NEC provides very specific requirements for non-utility cables, such as those used in residential, commercial, and industrial wiring systems. These requirements cover all aspects of the installation, from the type of cable to the method of installation. The reason for this difference is that non-utility cables are typically installed by contractors or property owners who may not have the same level of expertise as utility companies. Therefore, the NEC provides detailed guidance to ensure that these installations are safe and reliable. It's important to understand the distinction between utility cables and non-utility cables when working with electrical systems. If you are unsure whether a cable is a utility cable or not, it's always best to consult with a utility company or a qualified electrician. Incorrectly identifying a cable can lead to safety hazards and code violations. In the context of the original question, it's clear that URD cable installed by a homeowner or contractor is not considered a utility cable. Therefore, it must comply with the NEC requirements for non-utility cables, including the requirement for raceway protection in underground installations. Finally, let's discuss the importance of consulting the latest edition of the NEC. The NEC is a living document that is updated every 3 years to reflect changes in technology and industry practices. It's essential to use the latest edition of the NEC to ensure that your electrical installations are safe and compliant. The NEC is available for purchase from various sources, including the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA, and other online retailers. It's also available for viewing at many public libraries and educational institutions. In addition to the NEC, it's also important to consult local codes and regulations. Local codes may be more stringent than the NEC in some areas. It's always best to check with your local building department to determine the specific requirements for your area. Consulting with a qualified electrician is also highly recommended. A qualified electrician can provide expert advice on electrical installations and ensure that they comply with all applicable codes and regulations. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it's always best to leave it to the professionals. Attempting to perform electrical work without the proper training and experience can lead to serious injury or even death. By consulting the latest edition of the NEC local codes and a qualified electrician, you can ensure that your electrical installations are safe, compliant, and reliable. This is an investment that will pay off in the long run by protecting your property and your loved ones.